Welcome back to BCC, everybody. I am your Dungeon Master, TGE, and we still have these three here. I'm pretty sure they only keep showing up because they think I've got something on them. I think they're acknowledging that.
No. I only show up because there's no one else who would broadcast your ugly face to the rest of the world.
He's not wrong.
I'm pretty sure that's punishable through the Geneva Convention.
Nope, this is the one loophole I have.
Those faces cruel and unusual.
Yes.
I
But
mean,
it's not wartime, so.
I mean, the fact is I'm using 2 images of weaponry, Cham. Because we have Tej and Nora.
He's right, and the one doing all the sarcastic comments, that's Crimson Avix. We also have Chameleon Ice and Norestra. For a review, Chammy is playing Chloe, our wizard. Crim is playing Kite, our fighter. And Nora is playing Pup and Stuff, our alchemist.
It's Puff. It's Puff. Why can't no one get my name right?
Can we still call you Ponzi? Is that acceptable?
Fine.
Ponzu, got it. You act like I didn't spend my day looking up 5-letter or 6-letter words that started with P to call you.
What about Primplop?
Wrong game.
I'm a proper penguin, are you? Anyway, welcome back to Legaria, everybody. We are here for episode 4, The Machinations of Andarion. But before we get to that, I think a recap is in order. Nora actually has a penguin. That's it. That's the recap.
Nora will be played by a penguin for the rest of the night. Bye!
It's the best trade we've ever done here at BCC. Anyway, as we said, how about a recap? Last time, you guys made your way back from the little alcove of kidnappers on the outskirts of the Bash and the outskirts of Eaglesguard, where you headed back into the city proper. Utilizing the information you found in the note, you decided you were going to head back to the Sleepy Cat real quick and confront the Chef Hopkins about where you could potentially find this lower alley. Once he just, told you where to go in the alley, you quickly decided you're going to split up briefly, with Chloe and Poffins going to the alley to make their way in past the gate, and Kite taking the prince back to the Greyhawk Coliseum so he could be there in time for the opening ceremonies. Once Kite and the prince got back to the Coliseum, however, the 2 guards that were at the entrance were a little gruff, not believing that this was the prince because Kite was not Sakata. Some talking ensued, a deal was made, and they eventually made it through where, after they got in, Kite brought the princess over, who they did know, and she gave them a stern look. Meanwhile, over at the lower alley gate, Chloe and Poffins decided they were going to sneak in using the disguise self spell, where Chloe disguised herself as the leader of the kidnappers and Poffins was the kidnapped. They talked their way past the first guard, no problem, where they entered into a room or a drug den of sorts where there were 6 bullywugs working on wooden centrifuges and one sort of taskmaster with a giant axe. When approached, the taskmaster asked Chloe in disguise what the password was, which she did not know, and everyone got attacked. Chloe and Poppins both fell in the battle, leaving it mostly up to Kite, but a lucky natural 20 on a death save did bring Chloe back into the fight, and through some sheer determination and luck and good rolls, you guys did manage to vanquish the taskmaster and the other bullywugs. It was from there you guys exited the drug den and saw the fireworks over the Greyhawk Coliseum, signaling the official start of the tournament. And that was where we left off. So
Hold on. There is one specific note to that fight that is very important. If it's here. It is not here. Never mind. I was going to repost the picture of the slipping and the sliding, but...
Oh,
Oh yes, frogs on ice.
yes, frogs on ice. Yes.
we were looking for the Steve Austin, weren't we?
Yeah.
I'm helping.
I got you right here. There you go.
Well, no, I already removed it from
Yeah.
the stream. So anyway,
Yes, there was frogs on ice because of Ponzi's grease spell before he got absolutely thwacked. But yeah, you guys are in pretty rough shape. Ponzi's basically out on his feet. Chloe's out on her feet. Kite's got like 6 hit points left.
no, I had 3 left.
Oh, sorry, I doubled your hit points. I apologize. And yeah, so you guys emerge from this alley and see the fireworks from over the Coliseum signifying the official start of the games. What do you do?
I'm going back to the Prince and the Princess.
Which was our goal. We agreed to do that, I believe. So Chloe's definitely going with Kite, especially after everything that happened.
Who's carrying Ponzi?
Ponzi's awake. We woke him up.
Oh, yeah, you can walk yourself.
I'm not sure he can walk after that fight, but yes.
I mean, Chloe feels the same way. But
Let's face it, Ponzi better be walking because otherwise Kite just tied him up and is dragging him through the streets.
Like a Christmas ham.
Wouldn't be the first or the last time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
So-
Ponzi's going to follow, limping along and whining about not making a profit off the frogs.
you made plenty of a profit. They're paying you for this.
Yes, but I could have sold their oil. And
Oil?
there could have been loot there.
And I should have left your body to die.
Okay, fair point.
Ponzi, that was a drug den. Anything you
I could
stole
have
there
sold the drugs.
that would have been illegal.
Not if you don't get caught.
Kite turns around to Chloe. Since when do you think he has ever cared about anything being illegal?
I refuse to steal.
He does have some respect.
I have a code of honor.
What is that code of honor?
I don't know. This thing fell out of the sky. It said the rules of acquisition. It seems pretty good.
His code of honor is it's not a problem if you don't call it one.
Regardless, we got out of there with our lives, which is far more valuable than any coin at the moment.
Agreed.
Fine.
We
He
should
would-
probably
he-
alert the...
He would know that if he wasn't sleeping the entire time.
I needed a nap.
As you all are walking through the streets, what is everybody's passive perception, which is 10 plus your bonus?
Passive perception for
13.
Chloe
13, okay.
is 11.
Okay.
Something ridiculous for Nora.
14. I believe.
It took you that long to do 10 plus 4?
I had to find my sheet.
All your
I have
modifiers
like-
should either be 4 or 5. So just make a guess.
Yeah.
My constitution's 2. My strength is 1.
Anyway.
His
so,
actual intelligence,
Chloe?
not his modifiers, 2.
yeah. Chloe, you're not going to quite pick this up because you are probably... And Ponzi, you probably shouldn't pick this up considering how absolutely wrecked you are, but... You know, you're supposed to. You're used to picking up, like little bits and pieces. But Kite and Ponzi, as you guys are walking back, you do hear a couple of the less fortunate guards. I say less fortunate because they're the ones who are still patrolling the city as the opening ceremonies are underway, and they are talking about how they can't wait to be upgraded to patrolling the streets of Argenti. They can't wait for Garrett's champion to win the game so that Legaria can truly prosper with the Grey Forts in charge. Roll me insight checks.
Glad to see I'm picking up where I left off.
Yep.
16.
Okay. Ponzi, this, what seems weird to you about the way they're talking, this isn't like a confident sports fan talking about, I can't wait for us, to go beat X, Y, or Z, where they have that sports talk, like that confident bravado. This is confidence overwhelming. This is confidence. This is the confidence you have when you go in and you know the lottery numbers when you're picking them. This is confidence that they know something is going to happen, not they want it to happen.
We're fixing the matches.
What are you muttering to yourself over there?
The matches, they're fixing them. Someone's fixing them. These guys are way too confident that they're going to win. Like, there's no even remote chance of a loss in an equal competition.
How would somebody fix a competition like this?
To win the hand of the...
No, why? How?
Not why, yeah, how?
Oh, how?
Insight. If you'd like another insight check, you guys can give me one here.
Sure.
The rest of you can give one too, and this is a group conversation.
Fair
11.
I see you continued to go where you are, Krim. Okay. Good thing is the 11 will get it. You just came from a den producing drugs. You saw what happened when Cicada got drugged with them. You can safely surmise that that's probably how they're going to try it.
And Ponzi would definitely know this. Yeah. They're going to drug the competition. They're either going to and Ponzi pulls out a couple. They're either going to use a potion of strength, or they're going to use a potion of enfeebling, or something to rig it in their favor.
Well, that's terrible. That's cheating, right?
Yes.
So we should inform somebody immediately.
We need to figure out who's cheating first.
Well, who did you overhear?
Those are the guards.
Here's the thing. I don't think anything we do is going to matter.
What? Why not?
Because the person who's probably behind this has way more sway than us.
Aren't you entered in the tournament?
I withdrew.
I wonder if we can get you back in.
I can't. I wouldn't be able to.
Conflict of interest?
Rules of the... This is the Duke's doing.
The Duke. What?
The Duke.
I totally forget his last name, or his name.
Ashton Greyfort.
Oh.
And Ponzi, you did overhear a name in that conversation. You overheard the name Garrett, which is the Duke's son.
Oh, okay. So we do know who's cheating. Got it.
See, the thing is that the Duke, although he will, or he has been saying that, it's for good, wants to kind of overtake the queendom and sees the means of doing it by wedding his son to the princess.
I see.
So what options do we have?
Why would that give him power?
Because he could...
Princess.
He could easily manipulate it to where, even though he's not the ruler, he becomes the ruler by proxy. Just manipulates every single thing his son does.
But his son wouldn't be in charge. This is a queendom. Wouldn't that mean the princess would ultimately have authority?
By the
Not if she's
traditional
unable to
laws,
have-
yes.
But not if she's able to use her authority.
Well, what could we even do about this?
Well, we should advise the princess.
I'm in the understanding that the princess is well aware.
Can she
Okay.
refuse?
She
have to
could,
follow
but the total anarchy that would result from it, from the princess not applying tradition, would be catastrophic to the city. There would be riots. I think that this queendom would have never seen before. But my biggest fear is that through all this, Arabella would just become a marionette. There's just there's just so much convenience for the Duke there.
You make it sound extremely hopeless.
Not hopeless in terms of what we can do, but if the Duke succeeds his goal, I can tell you that the queendom would no longer exist as a queendom.
We just have to make sure he doesn't succeed.
And therein lies the problem.
Yes,
Because
you withdrew from the tournament.
you expect me to be able to defeat a drugged up barbarian?
Yeah.
At this point, Llewellyn pops out. Didn't you just do that earlier, sir?
I was going to say, Lou's right.
Not like you don't have your own supply of stuff here.
We're not going to help him cheat, Ponzi.
Hey,
He wouldn't be any better than that.
Wouldn't be cheating.
Peter
if
Piper
the other
over
side's
here didn't
cheating
even
first.
see. Peter Piper over here didn't even see that last battle. He knew nothing about it. You didn't have to bring it up.
But it was quite impressive, sir. I apologize.
And he certainly would know I didn't take down that barbarian.
We could
He
have
hit
just
me in
said
the
that
back of
he.
his axe and it hurt.
He could have just said he fled.
His body was rather right there.
Yes, but I mean, Papas wasn't really, with it.
Helpful? Effective?
All of the above, Lou. Your
Did
spell
my-
wasn't
I'm
effective.
not sure for all of us, but I only have one goal in this. This isn't my queendom. That's
Okay.
not my empire to protect. But I swore I'd protect the princess. I swore to her. So that's where my allegiance is right now.
I see. And we've officially been brought into this as well via the prince.
I mean, I'm here to make a profit, but anarchy doesn't really help sales. So that's bad for me. I'm in.
Well, I certainly need the money as well, and anarchy does go against my goals as well of, well, living, surviving.
Question for you, Papas. And this is actually probably more of a question to teach outside of character.
Yep.
Do you think you'd be able to make an anti-drug?
The answer to that would be yes, but there's probably not enough time right now. However, what I will tell you is this is you've taken, Pavish, you've taken a little bit of time to look at what was in there. You know that the three things you saw were ability enhancers, but you also know that Mysteria pollen and a couple other ingredients can be used to create something akin to a historical poison thought to be lost to time. Uh, Basically, for veteran D&D players, the equivalency of the drow sleeping poison.
Okay.
You know that they could, like, if now that you know that this is probably a Grey Fort plot, you can probably surmise that the other illegal ingredients that would be required to make that, they probably have access to. So, knowing that this is a thing, you probably can't do anything to stop what's going on at the games. But if given a little bit of time, if they try to pull something else, you can probably create an antitoxin 100%.
Unless you could stall the games.
How long are the games supposed to last? It's not all happening tonight, of course.
No, tonight is just the opening ceremony. Basically, it's kind of like what if the NCAA tournament was done in like 2 days?
Okay.
Okay. So I would have time for day 2 possibly. But not day 1. Openings. No, not that much.
No. It would take at least a week to 2 weeks just to get the basics serum down because you know what these illegal. You don't know the proper ratios of these ingredients, so you'd have to.
Right.
Yeah. And if the only way you could get your hands on them to do the research you would need would be to
Go back and
work.
do all the stuff. Yeah.
I was going to say work with the royal family because most of them are illegal.
Well, there's
Well,
Well, here's the thing.
I mean, I can do some things, but I'm gonna need some time.
Time's
And
not something we
don't
have right now. So, here's the thing.
Mhm.
And this is going to sound very strange. But we may possibly have to throw a coup on part of the royal family. So yes, I just said the royal family would have to overthrow the royal family.
That we can do.
What? You make it sound easy.
the other bit of information I will give you that you would know, Kite, for signing up for the tournament, if you research the history, you might know Chloe, but you also do know that once the games are over, depending on who wins and all that, probably a month or so after the games, because there is a couple of traditional things that need to be done. There's always a royal banquet welcoming the new nobility or the new winner of the games into the Royal Legaris family in Argenti at the Cinder Citadel. So you can surmise that if there was going to be a coup perpetrated by Greyfort, that would most likely be the place to do it.
Well, right now, Kite isn't so much concerned about what Greyfort's going to do because he thinks Greyfort's going to manipulate the whole thing the whole time anyway. So he's not really worried about a coup. He's more worried. He's more concentrated on if Garrett wins the games, he would have to do something to eradicate that.
Well, what if we pulled the same stunt we did to get into that,
I'm sorry?
into the potion area? What if one of us pretended to be the princess and the other two her bodyguards, and we took the prince and stuck them somewhere safe, and we were at the banquet.
Because that would only end bad for all of us.
We're not doing that.
You really assume that Grey Fort would not be on edge already. We do something like that, he'll know the royal family's involved, and the princess and the prince would not come out of it alive.
I mean, I think that's his plan right now anyway.
No, his plan right now is to use the princess as a puppet.
If they die, then the public would never go with it.
Chloe, having studied in the magic school in Argenti,
Right?
you would know that basically the same way that the U.S. government doesn't keep everyone in succession in the same location, there's always, one
No.
person away. You would know that the same thing would happen to the royal family. The one person that you haven't heard or seen of being here is the queen's younger sister, Lady Odilia, who, if the royal family who is here were to no longer be capable of taking the throne, it would fall to Lady Odilia.
Family has one member that's not present whenever they're in a location.
Mm-hmm.
And if something does go poorly, whoever is left and would be the heir apparent would immediately go into power.
Correct. Even though you also know that she did renounce any claim she had to the throne to stop some of the politicking that has plagued the queendom.
Right.
In that scenario, she would be the only one to be able to take the throne.
What was her name again?
Lady Odilia Legaris, Odilia.
Thank you.
So Kite,
Yes.
besides pawning off this idiot for some money and a ransom, what plan do you have?
I don't know. I haven't gotten that far. I think that communication with the princess is vital. And she definitely needs to be included in any decision making. I'm not going to make decisions on part of her or the royal family.
What if we gathered proof of the foul play?
Yeah.
Well, that's all great, but we don't have proof that it's being used on Garrett. We don't even have proof that it's the Duke that is doing so.
But what if we find proof? This is currently occurring, right? So that means we could potentially investigate it.
There is that possibility. I don't know how comfortable you all are with that. I mean, imagine what we just dealt with on a larger scale.
Well, my particular set of skills is not useful here. I can't sell them anything.
It just sounds a bit. I don't know what we can do. I'm not one that's typically used to political plots and intrigue of this nature. Usually, whenever something like this would happen at school, where somebody would be cheating or there'd be something that would go wrong, we would try to gather evidence and present it to the people in charge, and things would turn out for the best. You trust the system.
The people in charge are already aware it's occurring. At least some of them.
Why don't we ask? I'm
We
sorry.
we have to expose the plot then.
We would have to convince the queen of all this. And remember the state of mind she's been in recently.
Refresh my memory.
Basically, she's gone a little power hungry and a little senile.
Oh.
She's been a little aggressive and moody.
Gotcha.
She's Queen Brawning it.
Thank you. I was actually just trying to look for the word for that.
Yes, Queen Bride for Final Fantasy IX, considering, that's also laced within this entire thing.
I have an odd question. Does the kingdom require to have a ruling male?
Not a ruling male, but according to tradition, I mean,
What happens if nobody wins the tournament?
I
They
don't know.
hold it again.
I was gonna say they probably hold another one until the victor's declared.
How long would it take for them to set up another one?
Given the money and the resources, not long.
Well, but also depending upon how the tournament is fought, the battles can get bloody and dangerous, and people can fall and be permanently injured. So it stands to reason that if there's one person that they want to have win the tournament, it'd be difficult for him to re-enter a second tournament.
Considering most people end all this in death, yeah, that would be a good assumption.
So that means if the tournament ends up not working and gets canceled or called off, there's a chance that maybe he wouldn't get into power and it would be somebody else.
At this point, Llewellyn pops up. Are you suggesting to find some way to cancel the tournament, madam?
That would be my thought. If we postpone it, that gives us all the more time.
Just how exactly do you plan to do that?
I have an idea.
What is it?
Blow up the Coliseum. No? Okay.
That seems
I'm out
like
of ideas.
No, I don't want to turn down your ideas. How would you do it, Ponzi?
Let's see here. We got some boom boom juice in here somewhere. Yeah, we just some dynamite.
Some what?
Dynamite.
Dynamite.
You realize how savage that is. Also, you want to desecrate a decently well-known landmark here throughout the Queendom just to stop a tournament that they don't need to hold in a coliseum.
They?
The book's right. I hate it when the book's right. The book's always right.
He's often right. But your idea isn't entirely without merit. Not blowing things up and being essentially terrorists, but if something happens to the Coliseum that maybe makes them question the integrity of any kind of competition here.
I mean, the book's point of they can just move the tournament to another location.
They could, but that's assuming if the Coliseum's destroyed. What if the fights themselves are disqualified?
I mean, I could throw more grease on the floor.
Adam, how do you plan on disqualifying every fighter, including one who has been bought and paid for by the nobility running this tournament in their town? I do not think that is going to work.
Well, you make a good point, though.
Wait.
Yeah.
He was bought.
Did you actually think the nobility was going to fight for themselves?
Oh, it's not actually the sun?
No, it's a champion representing the sun.
We need to go find some less scrupulous friends of mine.
Are you thinking you can buy him off?
No, but I'm thinking we can find proof that there's some shenanigans afoot.
If you are planning to prove that the champion has been bought, then good luck on that, because everybody in the queendom knows that the high nobility buys their representatives. It was a rare sight indeed when King Adeline won the last Sacred Games. He was a neutral outsider.
Yes, but I want to see the contract.
So your grand plan is to defeat them with legalese?
No. Your plan is to see if you can make him take a fall.
That too. Or at
Luella,
least make it not worth his while to win.
I don't know
I
if you
mean,
can outbid the royal family.
I highly doubt you will be able to outbid not the royal family, but the Duke of Andarion.
Right, sorry, the Duke.
We don't have to outbid him.
What if the royal family helps us with it?
We don't have to outbid him.
Oh,
Did you not hear? Did you not hear? You don't want to involve the royal family in this, Chloe. Did you not hear what Kai was saying earlier?
All we have to do is make it not economical for him to win.
well, I suppose we do that.
That I don't know. We need to see the contract.
I honestly just don't understand how we would possibly steal not only the champion representing Garrett Greyfort, but by proxy, the champion representing the Duke. I mean, I guarantee there is more to that champion than just the money that they are getting.
And I'm certain that if they betray the Duke's trust, there's probably quite a penalty that involves more than the fine.
Yes. But I bet there's some fine print saying what other benefits that they might be getting. Such as the tournament being fixed in their favor.
I think we're maybe considering this all wrong, though.
How so?
So, regardless the outcome of this tournament, the queendom still resides to the queen until she passes.
Right.
As long as the princess is alive, even if the queen passes, the princess has the rightful succession to the throne.
Right.
What if the princess is not present for the wedding ceremony?
Well, what would they do? Would they wait for her, or would they just pass on power to the next available person?
There would be a successor pro tempore, but nothing permanent.
And what will be the end result?
I haven't gotten that far yet. But if we can prevent the marriage and then eliminate the threat, the result of the tournament will not be able to be fulfilled.
The other option is we just go kill the champion.
Well, the threat at that point
I
would be
will
the
let
champion.
you I will let you try that first.
The threat would be the Duke at that point, not the champion. Like once they've won, the champion's not the one who's going to be sitting on the throne and marrying the princess. It's going to be the Duke's son.
Yes, and what is the only way to free a marionette?
Cutting the strings.
Just cut the strings and slay the puppeteer.
We could just do that now. Save us some time.
And then be sworn by the entire... You just heard.
I don't think any of the
There
three would
are...
be able to-
I guarantee mostly every single soldier in this entire city is under the Duke's rule.
Yeah. Well, I'm out of bad ideas, so on to the stupid ideas.
Well, no. Kite's idea, it has merit. The problem is we just can't really see how it's going to end. Because we can't anticipate what's going to be happening. And that's okay. Because right now, we can't do anything. Must you think otherwise, Kite?
I don't, I don't know, but instead of sitting out here in the street where the guards are, we should go see the princess, and I need a nap.
I assume we were walking towards them, but
Yeah, it's about this time you make your way back to the royal entrance. Kite has the note given to him by the princess, so you get some looks, but they let you in. And you make your way to the royal box, where, in addition to Princess Arabella and Prince Alwyn and Beatrix and Sakata, there are also two other people in the box. Chloe, having again been part of the city, you would recognize them. But there are these two people. We first get King Adelwine
ooh.
and Queen Agalia.
Oh, she's actually here. It's not the queen from the same game.
Yes, it is. It's just a variation of the art.
Okay.
That looks like a mix between Ultimecia and Yuna.
And
A
actually,
little bit.
I
A
was
little
thinking the same
bit.
thing. Yeah.
A little bit. I took the picture specifically because I liked the crown on her head, which is a very defining feature because she actually she is wearing a crown that glows with a faint red glow around her head.
Darn it, I can't detect magic. I'm too tired.
You don't need to have the spell detect magic to know that thing is radiating magic.
I wonder how much I get for that crown.
Probably about 20 to life.
So, what is occurring like out in the courtyard right now? Like on the battle?
Basically, what is going on right now, there is nothing battle wise out going on. There is what appears to be a, for lack of a better description, um, if you ever watched, I know Cham, you probably haven't, but Nora and Krim, you guys have. If you've ever seen like a Hawaii football game where before the game they do the haka, it's some sort of it's a very traditional haka like dance celebration going on.
I've seen that in Moana.
Okay, well, Kite, upon entering and seeing the entire royal family there, does bow and kneel before the family.
That's just Chloe, of course. I mean, manners.
I can't get any lower, Your Majesty. I'm already on the ground. Sorry.
Oh, I didn't address him yet, but
Yeah. So the queen is very much, again, we're going to queen brawning it here, very much focused on the show. You are not approached by the prince or the princess. You are approached by the king.
He's approaching us.
He comes over to you. Please, there is no need for formalities in the private box. You must be the friends that Alwyn told me about.
I
Oh, John looks over at Kite.
I suppose you can consider us that.
He hasn't shut up about you since he got back into the box.
To be fair, he didn't shut up about us before he got to the box.
He's very excitable sometimes. More times than not. Gets him into trouble a lot. Like earlier today, from what I understood, between him not shutting up and Sakata's story, I believe I should thank you for returning my son in one piece.
You're very welcome, Your Majesty.
Again, no need for formalities.
Your Royal Majesty?
I believe a formal, correct introduction is in place then. My name is Kite. I do not reside from your realm, so my apologies if I have been intrusive, but I am here. I am here for the goodness of both your land and mine.
So my daughter has told me, since we're doing formal introductions, he bows. I am King Adeline Legaris. You've met my son and daughter already. I suppose the final thing to do would be to introduce you to my lovely wife. And he walks over, puts his hand over her shoulder, gives her a little peck on the cheek, whispers something, and she snaps out of her watch and goes, "Oh, I didn't realize we had guests." She curtsies politely. "It's a pleasure to meet you."
Likewise.
Indeed.
Chloe looks totally out of her league right now.
Absolutely. She's like fidgeting with her hands and like holding on to Lou, which is
Lou, meanwhile, is just like, "Yeah, I'm used to this."
you've met so many kings.
Yep.
I'm just a humble merchant. It is an honor to meet you.
I'm half tempted to make you make a deception check.
Oh, do it.
I picture Ponzi like going all Edgar Allan Poe on Lincoln, where it's like, "You're in charge here, buy my magazines."
16.
Uh, Adelman looks at you and just smiles and goes, "Yes, a humble merchant indeed."
Kite looks over at Arabella and sort of gives that look like, yep, he's the one that was selling the jello shots.
And she just gives you the look of, "Oh, God."
Does Ponzi notice this?
No, you're too busy lying to the king.
Ponzi notice this is whatever drink he's drinking, he just spit out all over the king.
So at this point, Adelman looks and goes, "You are more than welcome in here, and since I know lodgings are probably tight within the city, there are plenty of extra rooms. We're not staying in the fortress. We have plenty of bonus rooms on the boat."
Oh wow! Thank you very much.
Bonus rooms.
They have one-ups in them.
And coins. Lots of coins.
But you are just in time, actually, because there's one final thing about the opening ceremonies that, well, it's going to be a little fun. And as you look around, you notice that in the span of your conversation, Alwyn has left, and Cicada have left the room.
Oh no!
Nope. No one knows. You hear trumpet blasts down in the courtyard, and clearly whatever majors they're using have flurled the fires up so it's lit up bright. And you see coming from one of the fighter entrances, wielding the Santetsuken, which is the traditional name for a trisection staff,
Right.
is Prince Alwyn.
Right.
And coming across from the other side is this young-looking warrior.
I assume to be Cicada.
No. And
No, we already have an image of Cicada.
Yes, we already have an image of Cicada. And you hear whoever is doing the announcing goes, "And now, to officially kick off the games, a ceremonial match involving the Prince of Legaria, Alwyn Legaris." And they are getting ready to have a little ceremonial sparring match to
What's the other?
officially set off the games.
Is the other one not being announced?
Alwyn looks at you. "Unfortunately not. We tried to get that to happen, but the Duke is very insistent that none of the slave fighters get introductions. Yes, we know. Yes, we've been trying. It has been unsuccessful."
I can do a perception check if needed, and that's probably not going to end well. But is the bastard sword that warrior's carrying sharp, or is it dulled for an actual spar?
It's 100% blunted. It is absolutely
Okay.
blunted.
Okay.
Like, as a warrior, you can tell. Like, With the king being here and knowing how much of a warrior he is, you know damn well if that sword was sharp, he'd be on that battlefield right now.
Well, that's what I was getting ready for.
Yep. I just couldn't find a picture with a blunted sword that looked like what I wanted.
Well, that's why I asked.
And meanwhile, Chloe does not know that's how things are done with like combat stuff, so she's actually a little bit concerned for the prince.
Mm-hmm.
Ponzi pulls out a tray of Jello shots. Jello shots, anyone?
I probably wouldn't do that in here.
The king looks, what is this jello?
It's a liquid that has alcohol in it, and it's jiggly.
This is intriguing. And the king picks one up. Go ahead and roll me a pure d20 luck check.
3.
He looks at it. That is quite possibly the most disgusting thing I have ever drank. You should have warned me it was cherry.
My bad. I have grape and lemon lime.
So you have 2 flavors of medicine, and at this point the
What
queen.
would you like, sir?
At this point the queen looks over. The queen comes over to you and looks down. Are you getting my husband drunk?
Would you like to be drunk too, Your Highness?
And with that, Kite just picks up his glaive and smacks Poffis in the head.
Oh, why?
The queen looks, and for a second, like, you pick up the glaive for a second, she for a split second, she gets a little tense, and you see the glow around the crown get a little brighter, but then you thwack Poffis on the head, and she just starts chuckling. You 3 are going to be fun to have around.
Question. Do I recognize anything about this crown and like why it's glowing?
Roll me a history check.
Roger that. Okay, I got an 11.
It's the Crown of Flames,
What's the Crown of Flames?
one of the 3 royal treasures of Legaria.
Oh.
Remember,
And
that's the one.
For picture references, it's the crown label that you've seen all around here.
Right.
That's
Do I
the
know
one
anything
out
about
of
the
character that permanently attaches itself to the wearer unless they possess all 3.
Yep.
So do I know anything about that?
With an 11, you know it's the Crown of Flames.
Okay.
And this, now make an insight check, actually.
Okay.
And anyone there can make the insight check if they want.
I will not, because the Crown of Flames would be something out of the knowledge of.
Yep.
Okay.
Zuzu?
Office, that's you.
10.
Nope. Everything seems
Where
copacetic
can I?
here.
Yeah, I actually have a feat here called Researcher. When I attempt to learn or recall a piece of lore, if I do not know that information, I often know where and from whom I can obtain it.
You absolutely know whom you can obtain it from. The people in the room. It's just probably not a good idea to ask.
Okay. Like, aha!
Like, yes, you absolutely know where you can get the information. Just is it worth it?
Yeah, probably not yet.
No. So at this point, you hear a gasp, and you look down in the fight, and you see it's actually a pretty even fight. Who would like to roll me the luck check to see who wins? It's going to be a 50. It's going to be a 50-50 shot. Hold on. It's going to be a 50-50 shot. Choose high or low. Whatever you choose is the prince's half of the die.
Okay, you want me to roll a d20 for it, though?
Yes.
All right, we'll go high.
Okay.
I found Crim and Dark's dice. That's a 4.
That's a 4.
That's
Okay.
not my dice. My dice roll well. It's roll 20 that rolls trashy for me.
So it's a pretty back and forth fight, but at the end, apparently a little bit exhausted from the ordeal from earlier. This random fighter just happens to get a little bit, and the prince falls, and you get the whole like sword thing. But immediately, as soon as the prince falls, and he's got the kid puts the sword into the ground, helps the prince up, and there is clapping everywhere. And you can see the prince is well. You'll be able to see this because he goes. They do the thing, and you get the whole like the official start of the games happens tomorrow. Blah blah blah. The whole speech. At this point, what's up?
Sorry, never mind.
At this point, the prince and Sakata come back in, and everything's fine. And as soon as the prince realizes that Chloe is in the room and saw what happened, goes beet red and hides behind Sakata again.
Meanwhile, Chloe's going to be kind of looking around Sakata a little bit. It's like, did you get hurt?
Sakata looks at you. No.
No, I mean, His Royal Highness.
I mean, some bruises, nothing more than what you get in training. And the prince still won't say anything. He's just like, anytime Sakata fidgets at all, the prince is like trying to hide behind him. Meanwhile, Adelwine is just laughing as he goes and looks and grabs one of the lemon lime jello shots and just.
Well, at least that's a relief.
So yes, did you have, by the way, go ahead and get drunk with the royal family off the bingo card?
Marking it.
Well, I mean, if we're referring to the bingo card, then you have to bring up. You have to also check off bringing up Dark's dice.
Yes, Dark's dice was definitely brought up. We haven't hit the free space yet tonight. There has been no bright flash of light.
I feel like they're not going to be as common in D&D.
Probably true. So no, you're down to 6 jello shots. Adelwin took another one. So as this is all going on, like Sakata and Chloe are talking, Adelwine and Paphos are talking. Arabella finally looks up and goes over to Kite and just goes, "You look awful. What happened?"
So that place I went after we returned your brother. The feelings that you had about the Duke, they're legitimate.
And then she looks good. She holds her finger up and goes, "Okay." And she sort of gives you the "we'll talk about this when we're back on the boat" look.
Yep.
She goes, "But..." And she goes, "And I'll win." She goes over and she goes over behind there, and basically at this point, I'm just going full Purim Palom at this point because it's funny. She goes over behind Sakata, grabs him by the ear, starts pulling him out. Like, he is still beet red, and she goes, "You know why you lost that, right? You let your guard down for a second. You got too worried about showboating and dropped your guard. If that had been a real fight, we'd be picking up your bones from the floor."
Hey, Prince.
He just sort of looks down, and Adelwine laughs and goes, "She's right, you know."
She is right. Hey, Prince, come here.
He looks, realizes it's either Poffins or Chloe, and reluctantly goes to Poffins.
So Poffin pulls him down real close. It's like, hey. I know you have a problem around Chloe. I've got something, but I need a couple days to get the stuff, but I've got a love potion for you.
He looks at you. "I can have you arrested. There's nothing involving me and Chloe. Okay?
Why are you so red?"
I just got my ass kicked in front of the entire city. Wouldn't you be?"
You were red before you got your ass kicked.
So, you know the knot on your head from Kite's glaive? There's now another one from the Princess Santetsuken.
Ow! Why? My head! That
Alan looks and goes, "It was funny when he did it. It doesn't look good on royalty. Apologize." And, and the prince just looks, Sorry, you were dumb enough that I had to smack you.
Oh, you don't need to apologize. He most certainly deserved it, I'm sure.
Even if not for what he did here, he deserved it for something he has done at one point in his life.
Oh. Oh! You're that type of merchant.
Yeah.
We should head back to the boat now that everything is over. There's a couple things we need to discuss.
I'm not getting my license revoked, am I?
It depends on how our discussion goes. What was your name again? Pazuzu?
Yeah, that's fine.
Bonus points if y'all get that reference. I know Krim will.
I was gonna say, Kite says, no, it's Pilati.
See, here I thought it was a Mystic Quest reference.
It was. Pazuzu was.
Okay, good.
Yes, I got it. It's just we're gonna try to come up with as many names for him as possible.
Oh, absolutely. So, the crew of you, Cicada, Beatrix, Arabella, Alwyn, Adeline, the Queen, and you three, and a small contingent of the Queen's Guard,
Mm-hmm.
make your way back to the boat. This is the boat that Cicada and the Prince were talking about earlier, where you do know those two prisoners are currently staying.
That's good to know.
Yes, but you guys make it back, without incident. There's some oohing and eyeing, the whole like, oh my god, it's the Queen, oh my god, okay, like that type of thing.
Does Alwyn keep avoiding Chloe, by the way? Or
100%.
All right. She actually has tried to get close to him a couple times because she wants to ask him something.
Go ahead and roll me a luck check. Your D20.
5.
He manages to constantly be able to keep either Cicada or Kite between the two of you. You can certainly talk to Cicada. He might be able to help you.
She looks visibly a little bit frustrated, but she tugs. She's like 6 feet, whatever. She pokes Cicada. So, okay, excuse me.
Yes, can I help you?
Chloe,
was it?
Yes, Chloe Vesper. I'm just a researcher. But I couldn't help noticing that the prince seems a little preoccupied. I was wondering if maybe you could ask him a question for me?
My dear, he's not preoccupied at all. He's nervous.
But nervous about what?
He laughs and goes, I think that's something you need to figure out on your own. At this point, Llewellyn pops up, looks at Cicada, sort of tilts a little bit of the spine looking at Cicada. Cicada just nods to Llewellyn, and Llewellyn just goes back down into your bag. But I'm sure we can ask the question, although I can tell him that you have a question to ask and he should come and find you because he's being rude right now.
I can understand if
he's being rude.
I can understand if he has better things to do. Of course, he has certainly more pressing concerns.
We're walking back to the boat. There are no bigger pressing concerns right now. We're heading to bed.
I meant mentally, perhaps. But, yes, if possible, I would at least very much appreciate getting a moment with him.
Cicada, we can make that happen. Cicada stops, waits for Alwyn and Kite to get up there, looks at Kite. I'm borrowing him for a minute. Gets behind the prince, hand in his back, starts pushing him, and goes, the young lady has a question for you, and you're going to answer it. And just shoves him up to Chloe. And like that, it's like like that sort of teenage awkwardness, like the one hand behind the back, like the foot cross, like rubbing against the shin, like all of that's happening right now.
Right. And meanwhile, Chloe's like fumbling with her stuff, and she's like trying to reach into her bag.
Yeah. At this point, Llewellyn has flown out of your bag and is gone and landed on Kite's, flying right above Kite.
And she pulls out another folio of paper that she has, along with a magic quill that she produces. So yes. Prince Elwyn, I've been meaning to ask you this. ever since it was really one of the reasons I was seeking you out in the first place. I know it's a little bit improper to ask, but I was wondering if perhaps I could get you to write an autograph.
He looks at you. Yeah.
Excellent. It just needs to be something simple. That's all. I'm afraid for imposing upon you. I know it's a bit beneath you.
It's okay. It's okay.
Excellent.
No place. No, there's no place to sign. And he
Oh,
just, yeah, he mutters that and just starts booking it towards the ship.
what? No, I have the paper here.
He meant there was no hard place to sign on, like a table or something. So Llewellyn is flapping right by you, Kite, and he just starts laughing.
Kite also slowed down a little bit to sort of walk alongside of Arabella.
Yeah.
He is hopeless.
Yeah. Yeah, he is. It's cute sometimes. Hard to believe he's the older one.
Meanwhile, Chloe's kind of trying to chase after the prince, like, so wait for me.
Sakata just looks over at Beatrix, shakes his head, and looks at her and goes, with a sigh of, how did you get the better gig out of this? And reluctantly starts plodding after you two. I'm just picturing this scene right now as you got the prince running away embarrassed, you got Chloe following after him, you got Sakata plodding after, then in the middle you've got Kite and Arabella with Llewellyn flying there, Beatrix a little behind them, and then behind them further you've got the king, the queen, and Ponzi trying to give them cello shots.
Which the king is probably just taking at this point.
Yeah, the queen looks at you and looks at her husband, no more, looks at you, you're not going to give him any more. If you give him any more of those, I will throw you in the dungeon.
Can you throw him in the dungeon anyway?
I mean, I certainly could, but no more of those.
Oh, that's good. He just drank my last one.
I need him to be somewhat functioning tomorrow. Anyway, we go back to Arabella and Kite.
Basically, they're just making small talk as they're walking along.
So you all make it back to the boat, and it's a majestic boat sitting in the dock here in the Urui River. Like, it is, like, basically, it is, for lack of a better term, it's a river yacht. It is a functioning big river yacht. So you guys all come in, and Sakata goes down and is like, yep, here's the guest quarters, shows you where all that is, and then brings you into, everyone sort of walks up for a second, and then brings you over to a little meeting room. He says, and this is where you're going to probably have the discussion with the king. So I'm sure someone will come and get you when he wants to meet, but make yourselves at home, relax. If you need something to eat, let one of the wait staff know, and they can certainly get you something. I am going to go get out of this armor. It's heavy.
That's fair. Could one of you bring me a vial, please?
So you just see someone who looks like a normal, regular old wait staff, and goes, a vial? What do you mean a vial?
I just need an empty glass container.
Oh, that we can do, not a problem. And
That's not a cup.
this servant wait staff. I say servant, but they're not like, they're actually paid well. Like the royal family's actually decent, so I'm going to use the term servant anyway, though.
Yeah.
Comes back with not a vial, but a beaker.
Perfect. I am rolling experimental elixir.
Okay. This will be what your elixir is for tomorrow.
Yes.
So it's a D6.
1.
What is number 1?
I don't actually have the list. Do you have it?
I do. Level 1 is a healing potion. Drink regains the number of hit points equal to 2d4 plus your intelligence modifier. So you have a healing potion for 24 hours.
Nice. Might come in handy after the way that went.
Speaking of, for purposes of our recollection and everyone watching, this is constituting a full rest after the battle.
Yes,
correct?
this will be basically like I'm not gonna rope that up between like the sitting, the talking, and the planning. This will be a full long rest. So you guys can go ahead and take a long rest, fully unlock all of your new hit points and your spell slots and all of that. So you are now fully level 3.
And I guess it's a silly thing to ask, but was there ever an opportunity for me to exchange my
Did you
gem?
ask?
Huh?
Did you ask?
Well, we were kind of on the way back to the ship, so I didn't know if there was an opportunity as we were walking there.
I mean,
I don't know if on the ship that there's like.
I mean, there's absolutely on the ship. There's absolutely room for that. I mean, you absolutely can do that. I mean, Beatrix or Cicada can absolutely show you, like yeah, not a problem. This is easier to carry, easy peasy to do.
Okay, so
So
Chloe would be taking the opportunity then to
Yes.
use the there's materials that she has now to kind of copy down some of the spell book that she gained from the maids that we encountered earlier.
Yep. And actually, I lied, Nora. It is not a 24-hour thing. It is you can create an elixir, and it lasts until it's used, and then you can create another elixir, and it's at the end of a long rest.
So, okay.
So there is that. So you guys go and this happens. You get food or whatever else you need, and after a bit, the prince is actually who comes to grab you guys, not a servant. That he gets to knock and basically like brings you all into this sort of meeting room / war room, and it's the three of you. It is Alwyn, it is Adeline, and it is Arabella. The queen is not here. And because this is the ship, even the bodyguards aren't here. It's just the 6 of you. At this point, Adeline brings everyone sit down. It's a conference room, so it's just wood chairs. Nothing too comfortable, but you're sitting down, you're relaxing. And he looks and begins and goes, "Okay, now that we are away from prying ears within the city, what have you found out?"
Well, it appears that there was a bit of a drug operation and a kidnapping organization going on within the city itself. We found a place that was behind the lower alley where they had, it seemed, I guess, a group of bullywugs that were being used to help make perhaps some performance enhancing or perhaps performance dehancing drugs.
Oh, that is what they're planning. Okay. He smiles. As I'm sure at least one of you knows, we've suspected plans afoot for a while. We just didn't know what they were. It would be hard to fully prove anything right now without actual written proof of something coming from Ashton or Garrett. And Ashton is a smart enough man to not have any proof like that.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine that he's just letting stuff lie around. There's absolutely no sign of his finger touching anything down there.
didn't think there would be. It would be through an intermediary, more than likely someone who he knows he can trust, but someone who either can't have a much association with them or someone who is expendable enough that if they get caught, they'll take the fall.
Kite looks over at Zoe, or at Chloe. Z.
Pardon? Z. Right. What was that Z?
And then
Ponzi, did you recognize that?
You did.
Yes.
Well, who was it?
An acquaintance.
you do realize this is not the time to be vague in your memories.
No, it's for it's Zenfis, Alabars. Really, really horrible merchant,
Is he a member of your guild that you talked about?
ex-member. He didn't necessarily keep to the same standards that we do.
The prince chuckles as you say that.
So does Kite.
We don't steal, and we don't do necromancy.
And no wishing for more wishes. That was
No, we always wish for more wishes.
that was Llewellyn.
Yeah. So this Xanthus Holobars, he was the contact point that was mentioned in that note?
Most likely.
Well, that's great then. That means that we have somebody that we can base things off of. Can we contact him?
I was going to say, are you going to be able to find him, Chloe?
Well, Ponzi said that he was an acquaintance. So I'd assume that Ponzi would be able to find him.
I'm an acquaintance of everyone in my clan. Do you think I can find them right now?
Well, I suppose not. But if they were members of the same guild, I assumed there was some sort of camaraderie that happened.
Remember, he's an ex-member.
Right.
I mean, trust me. If Ponzi can prove me wrong, I would love that right now.
Prove you wrong how?
By actually saying, oh, I know exactly where he is.
I don't know where he is yet, but I do know he's in the city.
He's in this city?
Yep.
That narrows it down extensively.
Yes, unfortunately, it probably narrows it down to the actual fortress itself, which you're definitely not getting into.
Who's he talking to?
All of you.
Oh, okay, yeah. And couldn't you put out a warrant, potentially? Or is that...
A warrant for his arrest to be carried out by the Duke.
Oh, yeah, I guess that does sound rather silly.
I mean,
Oh, we have a name, though. Surely we can do something with that.
I mean, it's certainly a start. If we know who, we might be able to at least know what. You say this Xanthus and his acquaintance of yours, and you specifically mentioned necromancy. If he's part of your guild, I'm assuming he also deals with potions and the like.
yeah.
So in that case, I would imagine that the the drug ring you broke up was the enhancement side of things, and we should expect something a little more debilitating on our side.
Yeah, that would probably be, yeah. I wouldn't be surprised.
At that point,
Also,
Kite
I
does
wouldn't be
look.
surprised if zombies started walking around here with this clown.
At that point, Kite does look over to Alwyn. I am thankful that you did not go with me.
He looks. Why? From the way it looked, you could have used the help. And then he goes, oh, I guess I could have too.
If you would have went along, you'd have been in a heap right beside Sir Puffin stuff over here.
Alwyn looks probably a fair assessment. You do get a little excited, Alwyn. But as for the favors I was going to ask, I do think there is merit in trying to suss out more information. Most of us in the royal family have certain responsibilities where we cannot move freely about the city.
Hmm.
Alwyn has no such responsibilities because the way the matriarchal society works, he is more figureheading than anything. So he can go out and mingle and talk to people. So my favor is I ask the three of you, along with my son, to find a way into where the slaves or representatives are being held here in Eagle's Guard and see if they have any information.
Wait, what slaves? I'm sorry.
Like the fighter you saw Alwyn fight
Oh, the young
in.
boy.
Yes.
It would make
Talking.
sense.
Right. And it would make perfect sense for the prince to go uh, want to talk there. However, I don't suggest going through normal means because that would imply that would mean there'd be members of the Grey Fort party watching you at all times.
So we have to find another way.
There's an easy way to get in.
What's that?
Before this was the capital city of Andarion, this was a fortress, which is what I
Mhm.
keep referring to the castle as. When you have a fortress, when you have a large castle with people who need to be protected inside, what do you always make sure you have?
Means of escape.
Exactly. One of them leads from the slave quarters, I guess you could call it, into the sewers. If you took that path, you could make it up there, talk to them, and be back out before most people were any the wiser. Because the one thing I do know about the guards of Eagle's Guard is they'll stand by the door to the quarters. They won't go in unless they have to. It's beneath them.
What happens if we get caught?
If you get caught, then we renounce you three as kidnapping the prince. We get Alwyn out, and you three stay in jail here.
I don't know that I like this plan.
Well, the simple answer is don't get caught.
I like that plan.
There's more to it than that, probably, but that's the quick and dirty answer.
So we take the exit to get basically beneath the castle to talk to the slaves themselves, so
Hmm,
we can get a little bit of insight of what's going on, like in general.
exactly, because while Ashton would keep things close to the vest, he won't think the people he's got in his employ like that would tell anything because they're slaves. He thinks down on them. He thinks nothing of them. They're tools for him to use.
Well, then, I think it makes sense to take advantage of that lack of sight. So after we get that information, though,
We
what?
come, you come
Well,
back here, and we formulate a plan from there.
that information is not going to be able to be used as evidence, though, right?
It
Because
doesn't
of the
need to
class
be.
difference.
Well, it doesn't need to be able to be used as evidence. This is a queendom. My wife is the law. We just need enough proof, not to stop it, because we will not be able to do that.
Mhm.
But we're looking for what we need to plan for.
I see. So the goal isn't to implicate him, but to repair.
Exactly.
That seems smart.
At this point, Arabella finally speaks up, uh, addressing everybody, but specifically looking at Kite as she talks. So, I noticed how the three of you kind of came back and looked very, very beat up. That's probably not going to be a good thing if you're having to keep my brother safe from himself, because, and they do the little like brother sister glare thing. She goes, I know it's not much, but I did go in and we have a couple things here that we can use to help us, and uh, kind of wanted you to at least have a little bit of the protection of the royal family. And she goes over to you and puts around your neck a necklace that is an amulet with the sigil of Legaria. But more importantly, it is an actual magic item. It is the Amulet of Health, which sets your Constitution score to 19.
Wowzers. So she gives that over to Kite, you said?
Yes.
Okay.
Ponzi immediately starts looking at it.
It's very shiny. Yeah. She looks and goes, I wish we had more, but most of the stuff we would use is back home at Cinderbrook, so it's kind of all we have. And Adeline goes, I believe we can outfit you more when we get back, but this will have to do for now.
That's extremely generous of you.
Very shiny.
Ponzi, no.
What?
Kite doesn't say anything, but he mouths a thank you to the princess.
Which she sees and sort of just lightly nods in turn. So I believe the best course of action is for everyone to get some rest and prepare for whatever plans happen, unless anyone else has any other things they would like to discuss and plans they would like to make.
I can't think of any.
Your Highness.
Which Your Highness are you talking to?
Yes. So about my contract.
There is no contract.
You get to live.
My license.
Oh, the prince did promise him that.
I promised him nothing.
Oh.
All I promised him was that I wasn't going to arrest him.
Fine. I'm going to bed.
And we just get angry gnome noises. Which is basically like a toddler stomping off throwing a temper tantrum.
Door slams.
So
You still hear Ponzi in the hallway.
Oh, Prince Owen, when we get the chance, before we go to bed, so I don't forget, the matter that we discussed.
Uh, 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 um. And Adelman looks at him and goes, "What? One cute girl tries to talk to you, and you get all clammed up."
Oh,
And this
I
gives him a big hearty pat on the back as he walks out of the room.
and Chloe herself like looks absolutely like stricken at being like potentially called cute. It's like this, no,
Not just called cute by the king.
right.
Kite and Arabella are over in the corner just chuckling.
Yeah, this is like I'm not sure which one I feel worse for.
Feel worse for us.
Like seriously, do I feel worse for my brother for just being an idiot, or for her for having to deal with my brother being an idiot and my dad being an idiot?
Right now, my vote's for Chloe, but I mean, it's definitely up in the air.
It really is. So, at what point do we just sort of like leave them alone and let them like fumble over everything for like 15 minutes and then we're watching from a small area so we can giggle?
I mean, I don't even think we need to be watching and hiding. They're pretty much putting this right on in front of us.
Yeah, that is very true. And then we get back to the Prince and Coin and he's like, but what? Why autograph? I mean, yeah, why do you need to? I mean, I'm right here.
I understand you're right here. It's very important, but it's not for me. It's for a friend of mine.
Oh, is this for that girl we were gonna go aggravate at that hotel?
No.
I'm sorry. And then I'm sorry. And then he sort of like sheepishly like sort of like wanders over, and as he wanders by, as he sort of like sheepishly slinks out of the room over by Kite and Arabelle, he just goes, "I made her mad," and then walks out.
Wait, did he still go? You son of... Get back here!
So does Chloe go chase the prince out of the room with a parchment and quill?
It's like, wait, we're not done yet.
I'm just picturing them Scooby Dooing throughout the ship.
I'm trying to sleep.
At this point, Arabella just looks at Kite and goes, "Good luck with him tomorrow."
You survived 14 years with him. I'm hoping one day's fine for me.
Not sure how I did it. But, good luck and don't get yourself killed.
Remember, my sworn protection is not to him, so I can't go get myself killed.
Exactly my point. And she gets up and goes to walk by, and as she walks by, you get one of those like sitcom moments where her hand just brushes by yours, and you're not sure if it was accidental or on purpose.
Kite just sort of shrugs it off. Mainly because the king is still in the room and he doesn't
No,
want to draw
the king
attention.
left a while ago. The king left before the Chloe stuff happened. Because he basically did the dad thing of embarrassing his son and walking out of the room. And embarrassing Chloe by calling her cute. So, shenanigans ensue in the meeting. You all have separate rooms if you'd like. I mean, it is sleeping on a boat, but it's a big boat. So you all get your long rest, so full restore your hit points, restore all your ability stuff. We've already rolled for the experimental elixir.
Pafez does take a little bit longer to get his long rest because he keeps in here now. Do it! Do it! Against the wall.
Okay.
What?
Quit knocking on my door.
I'm not knocking on your door. You
Knock it
listen a
on the
little
wall.
closer to the next thud, and you actually hear a metal ping with it. Kite just throwing his kunai against the cabin wall.
You just see Ponzi take the pillow and do the whole rollover and stuff the pillow over his head.
I do want to have it. We get to the room Chloe's in, and Llewellyn goes, "Madam, why do you keep asking for an autograph?"
Chloe kind of looks at Lou and just says, I need to get the autograph so I can send it to Una. It would make her day.
Oh, I guess that makes sense. I thought, see, when you got off defensive, I thought you were trying to show, I can't even remember her name anymore. The one who shot you in the library earlier.
Indeed, she has no name. Merwena.
Yes. Yes, I thought you were doing that just so you could prove to her that you met the prince.
It was a bit of both.
But why did you get all defensive when he asked if it was for her? Like, you got very mad about him. I think you scared him.
I didn't mean to. She makes me very mad sometimes.
So,
And
so why take it out on the cute royal boy who likes you?
He doesn't like me, Lou.
Lou? Since a book can't hold its belly and laugh, Lou just sits there and back and forth. Just like you hear pages, like he's basically like flipping his pages. He's laughing so much.
I'm serious. The only reason he's as embarrassed as he is around me is because he's clearly not used to talking to girls.
Have you met his sister
Well, that's his sister, though. That's always different when it's family.
and her bodyguard?
Oh, yeah, well, maybe. But it wouldn't make any sense anyway.
Why would it not make sense?
Because he's a prince, and I'm just me.
Madam, do you want to transcribe the spells tonight or tomorrow?
No point in not working on it.
Tej, I'm disappointed.
Why?
Because with Llewellyn, you could have totally just made the joke, well, madam, you can't expect me to spell it out for you.
I could have. I'm sorry. 10 points from Gryffindor. So Chloe and Llewellyn go ahead and transcribe some spells.
Mm-hmm. Doing
Uh-oh.
good.
Yes. So next day comes,
Yeah.
and you are treated to a wonderful royal breakfast. It's basically a full English.
Ooh.
Well, it's the royal family. They eat in style. I'm pretty sure Kite doesn't like eggs.
It's not that I don't like eggs, it's that eggs make me physically sick in the morning.
So is any and when you guys have the breakfast, it's not as like stuffy as you'd expect the royal family breakfast to be. There's the queen, the king, the prince, the princess, you three, Cicada, Beatrix, and they're all just sort of there, just eating, having a good time. Kite will get it. Kite will get this for free. The other two can make insight checks if they want, but Kite's going to get it for free. You notice that the prince and the princess have their bodyguards, while the queen does not. And Kite's like, "Well, yeah, because it's the king. Like, so the king is the queen's bodyguard."
Makes sense.
Yeah, considering he won a tournament.
rolled.
Me too. Oh, dear.
Yeah, like I said, Kite gets that for free.
21.
Ponzi knows it. Chloe is still trying to figure out why Llewellyn said the prince likes her.
Right.
And it also makes thing the prince is as far away as he physically can be from Chloe and does not make eye contact at all the entire breakfast.
I still haven't gotten that autographed, have I?
No. He's going to avoid that as much as possible because he's super awkward.
I'll get you one day.
I'll get you one day, Gadget! General, you're supposed to meow when I say that. He is not impressed that I talked to him. He was asleep.
Of
course,
you know, also like doubting some eggs pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
Ponzi's just over here looking at the spread, going, "I've never eaten like this. I'll have one of these, and I'll have one of these, and I'll have one of these, and ooh, we'll pour this all over it," and it's just gorging himself.
So much better than the oatmeal they give us at college.
Kite pretty much eats a little bit of the meat and some of the bread and not much else. Protein and carbs.
Pretty much. Yeah. You look over, and Chloe, you look over, and Llewellyn has found himself a waitstaff who is literally just taking Llewellyn, opening him up, opening up cover, and then a page, and then just dipping a page in ink, turning the page, dipping a page in ink. You look over at Llewellyn. Well, if you can eat fancy, so can I, madam.
Are you sure that ink's gonna come out of your pages, Lou?
It's royal ink. I don't care.
Fair enough. Just don't smear any of our spells, please.
Going from the back.
Hmm.
I can't do it. I can't bring myself to do it. Nope.
Good. I'm glad.
I'm disappointed. But anyway, you are. Oh, hi. That's a close camera. The cat ran into my desk and messed with the camera.
Ah.
So this breakfast happens, and you guys make on your way. Cicada is gonna go with the rest of them to the Coliseum. So you guys are pretty much free to go where and when you need to.
Why isn't Cicada coming with us?
Because he's kind of obvious.
I suppose. I mean, we're certainly a covert group.
Also, not gonna lie, and I'm pretty sure it's intentional, but not even the fact that her bodyguard's named Beatrix. Cicada definitely gives Steiner vibes anyway.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, 100%. That was absolutely intentional.
Aw, I didn't pick that up at all until now. Now I love it.
The way he went trotting after Alwyn.
Yep.
I actually did feel that when he did that. Okay,
Yep, I'm like, yep, we're just gonna go full Steiner here.
I can hear the clank.
Yeah.
I didn't hear the clink. I heard Steiner's theme start playing in my head when he started trotting after.
I just saw him running after with a Steiner.
Yeah, something really. Wait. Curiosity. How much time do we have before we need to do this?
You have pretty much the day to do it, so.
Chloe would want to go to the market district or the market area, like all these stands people are there, like peddling their wares. And she wants to see if there's anybody who happens to be peddling any sort of magical scrolls.
Oh. We're looking for scrolls. Okay, well, the four of you can absolutely go to the market district.
As long as you guys don't object.
I'm more than happy to go to the market district. I have some money. You just hear Ponzi shaking his pouch.
I'm a little tight, but I definitely have an idea. Just in case.
I like ideas.
Yeah, Alan just looks. Kite, is that okay with you?
I'm indifferent.
You will notice that the prince has changed his attire. He is not looking very much like the prince he was looking like. He doesn't have the royal colors of Legaria, like the royal purples and all that. He is much more like the purples, the blacks, the golds. He's much more laid back and dressed as much as like a commoner as he can be. So basically, a commoner, a noble trying to be a commoner, which doesn't stick out as much as you think in Eagle's Guard.
The prince is also kind of like a normal-looking kind of guy anyway when he's not
Yeah.
showing off.
I would also expect the prince to pretty much know how to blend in, considering he's been out in the public so many times.
He absolutely knows how to do that. So you all make your way to the market district. What are you doing down here?
Well, I know where I'm going. I'm trying to look to see if there's anybody selling potentially any magical scrolls or
Well,
knickknacks.
scrolls, absolutely. It depends on what you're looking for,
I'm looking for a particular spell.
which is why I'm asking.
Invisibility.
Invisibility. Okay. But you have how much money do you have? I guess is the question before I go through all the process of finding this.
It's probably gonna be very disappointing. I have 83 GP.
I will tell you right now, you can try to haggle your way down, but price as are, you do not have enough for a scroll of invisibility.
That
How
makes
much do you need?
Well, I don't know. How much do I need? If I
Um,
had Hansi with me helping me to haggle,
Yeah, I'll haggle. You said you want the scroll, right?
indeed, it might be very useful to us.
Remember, you also have two sapphire gems.
I
you turn those in. She turned those in
Oh.
through the
did.
Yeah, I turned mine in too.
Yeah.
because the royal family was like, "Oh wait, yeah, you want us to do these instead of we can do that." Like they can absolutely turn the gems into gold.
And the royal family didn't give us any kind of forward in payment for helping them with this?
Of course not.
They did.
Their
They absolutely did.
Oh, it was,
The amulet of health.
that's right.
So, sir, ma'am, sir, what are you?
That's a rude question to ask somebody.
Very rude question to ask.
Well, Ponzi's underneath the table, like can barely see.
Yeah.
Right.
So you are at this stall. You go to this stall and you're looking around and you finally see something that looks like it might be what you're going for. And you are at this stall with a large, burly looking half elf. Like, we're talking jacked
He's like
half
Vin
elf.
Diesel, the half elf.
Basically, Vin Diesel the half elf's a great way to put it.
Sir.
Can I help you?
You have a scroll here that I'm kind of interested in. I'd like to talk shop with you. Merchant to merchant. I might have something for you. I might be able to work a deal out for it.
Merchant to merchant. You think you have things that I would need. Gold is what I need.
Ponzi shakes the gold pouch that he's got.
How adorable. Sounds like about 200 gold.
Close.
Right.
How much for the scroll?
It depends on the scroll.
It's the invisibility one.
The invisibility one behind you. That one right there.
That one?
Yeah,
That one right there.
that one.
Invisibility is 250.
That's okay. Pulls out his abacus and starts doing some math. I can do 220. and some Jello shots.
250. But roll a persuasion check.
$13.
240.
Really? 10% I'm a fellow merchant.
Who cannot do math because that is not a 10% discount, it's the 10 gold discount.
It was good merchant.
Clearly. 250. At this point, Alwyn looks over at Kite. What is he doing?
He's haggling himself.
Clearly.
There's a How about this healing potion? Freshly made.
He reaches over. Look, scroll of healing. 250.
How bad do you need this, Chloe?
Well, it's more of a safety precaution. The idea is, if something goes wrong, I can memorize that, and I could potentially protect the person we're trying to protect. I could make him invisible. That way, if things go wrong, he can get out of there. That was really
Things are going to go wrong.
How loud are you talking, Chloe?
I'm kind of whispering in his ear.
Okay, and then I need to roll for the merchant. I'll roll this one, probably. He does not hear you.
Whew.
Actually, it's bad for you. Had he heard you, it would have been better.
Ah, nuts.
I mean, I like the idea. Does it worth 250 gold to you? Because clearly this guy's not coming down.
Well,
It's not that I'm not coming down, it's that you're very bad negotiator.
Can I see your merchant's guild license?
My merchant's guild license. Don't make me tap the sign.
To be fair, Ponzi, logistically, if we did this, it would end up costing us about 100 gold more than whatever it is we end up paying here. Because in order for me to make the spell permanent, so I could use it at will for us, I would need to incur an extra cost.
So really, it's going to cost you 350 to learn this stupid spell?
Yes, it is. It was an outside...
260.
What? You said 250.
Yes, and now I'm saying 260.
Kite walks over to the merchant. How much would it be for you to watch me smack that merchant in the back of the head with my glaive?
You're going to smack him?
Indeed.
What do you mean, how much would it be?
How much would you be willing to come down for the girl?
Depends on how good the smack is.
Kite smiles.
Roll an attack roll.
I love the accent that goes along with it.
I can do Russian accents pretty well.
You do. Ooh.
Does the 17 hit you?
Yes.
Okay.
Why are you looking the kunai at me?
Oh, that shouldn't have been the kunai. Hold on.
Yeah, try that again without the kunai.
The 17 was better.
Well, I'm still going to make this the 17 because that's just funnier.
Yeah, well, one, I'm going to make it hit because obviously I'm not moving.
You're not taking the 12 damage, though.
Yeah. No, you didn't have to roll the damage. It was just the roll to hit.
Oh, okay.
So you just wind up and thwack.
That was that. The 12 was just the effectiveness of the hit.
Yeah, it was a pretty good hit.
So you hit Ponzi in the back of the head. And instead of the usual him just grabbing his head and screaming in pain, he literally goes slamming head first into the desk, bounces off, and falls down on his back. And you just you see the birds circling over his head.
That had to be worth something.
Oh, it very much was my entertainment. Make a persuasion check with advantage. And about 50 gold.
I'm sorry?
He asked how much I would take off for that. I said about 50 gold. So it's 200. Take it or leave it.
Can we take
They'll
it?
take it.
He just grabs the coin purse and hands you the scroll of invisibility.
Oh,
Give me
thank
my
you.
change.
How much was in the coin
It's
purse?
88. Just give me. It just takes 200 out.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. So I have this. Fantastic. Thank you. Thank you, Ponzi. Thank you, sir. All right. Now we need a place where I can write this down in lieu. So she immediately grabs you guys, take you over the Sleepy Cat Inn.
As soon as you walk over, oh, it comes back! It's a cute girl with the broken up flat! Oh, that's the cannonball! The cannonball is back!
I'm out of courage, but you want me to see what else I got?
She runs over to Chloe. So, he's still single, yes?
Yes.
Why he's still single? You had time!
I'm sorry. We need a table. We need just a little bit of time.
You had plenty of time. Why is
I promise. After this, I don't even know what I
you
would.
better pumpkins are friends.
Jeez, you're cutting out terribly.
You just hear
All
the
of our ears.
grumbling.
Yeah, I honestly
Back here today.
I honestly think the cutting out is helping everyone watching the stream.
Yes, it's a mercy cut.
What, my microphone?
Yes.
Yes.
Or Discord, one of the two, but it's a blessing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably not picking up on the high pitchedness there.
Very kind of it.
So you guys go and head on in, and you just get the grumbly looks from Hopkins in the kitchen.
And Chloe takes one of the tables in the back there, and she's trying to go over with Pothos. This invisibility spell to put it down in her spell book. And she actually asks kind of meekly, Pothos?
Uh-huh.
I know you've already put out so much for this. Is there any chance I could borrow 17 gold? I'll pay it back to you when I get the chance.
Yeah, you got any Tylenol? Or whatever medicine they're using in this day and age?
I assumed you were the one who had more of the ability to,
They keep
medicate
hitting
yourself.
the same spot.
Eventually it should grow callous.
Kite walks over to Chloe and puts down 17 gold. Then he walks over to Pothos and sets down 10 Electrum.
Not again. No.
No.
Oh, okay.
So Chloe thanks Kite for that. And what follows is a series of Chloe trying to make a mug invisible. And you see her kind of working at it. And what literally takes about an hour, because thanks to my having a wizardly quill, I'm allowed to actually copy spells 2 minutes per level is how long it actually takes me to copy it. But taking the full hour of a short rest allows me to switch out a spell slot with another one, or rather, a memorized spell with another one, which I'm going to use to switch out Misty Step as ability. So, long story short, Chloe's now penniless, and we have an invisibility spell that we can use on our prince.
Nice. Very nice.
Indeed. And once that's all done, she kind of closes up Lou. Says, all right, we're all done. So, Your Highness, if things ever get bad when we're doing what we're supposed to be doing, all you need to do is just let me touch you, and oh no.
What?
If things go bad while we're doing what we're doing out there, I need you to hold my hand. Or at the very least, let me touch you. And I'll make
He
sure.
just beat red, like the cloak he's wearing, throws the hood up, goes full like Kenny from South Park, and just like clams up.
I should have foreseen this.
Ponzi walks over to the barkeep. They're hopeless, aren't they?
Hopkins looks at you. They very much are hopeless.
If I give you some love potion, will you stick it in there?
I believe your friend told me I was not to do that anymore, so no.
But it'd be funny.
I watched what happened out there. Do you want me to smack the other side? And he just grabs a giant frying pan.
I'm good. What's the special today? I'll take one.
Deep fried gnome.
On second thought, let me have the vegetarian.
It's probably a better idea. The gnome gets gristly.
That it does. That it does.
So right now, while that's going on, while Chloe's learning her new spell, and Ponzi's over there getting ridiculed by the cook, Kite goes over to Owen. Are you sure you're ready for this?
Gonna have to be. I mean, it's just walking through sewers and talking to people. It's not gonna be that hard. And you do see that he does have the quiver he uses to store the Santetsuken.
Do you want to know a little trick? You can have confidence without ego.
Okay.
Walk in like you know what you're doing and like you're not afraid. Be confident that when you go in, you'll do exactly what you need to do and no issues will arise. But don't go in cocky like you run the place. That's what got you beat. You're lucky it was a bastard sword. Well, a blunted bastard sword.
Okay. 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 Yeah, I can do that. I think. I hope.
Right now, you don't seem so confident.
Well, I'd be a lot more confident if she wasn't in there talking about trying to hold my hand.
It's for magic.
Okay, so this is what you do. If that makes you that nervous, just imagine you're reaching to pull out Llewellyn to read yourself a bedtime story.
He thinks for a minute. I guess.
If you're truly that nervous around Chloe that you won't let her help you, then you're far beyond my help. And I'm sorry, but you can't tag along for any more things.
You say that, and he looks deflated.
Or, I mean, you can just accept that, you know, Chloe is someone who's trying to help you that also just so happens to be a cute girl. They both can be true.
Okay. Okay. Let's just get through this right now and
Yeah, exactly. That is worst case scenario. And honestly, if we're getting to worst case scenario, that means we might have to rely on Pafez, so we don't even want to get there to begin with.
no, we definitely don't. We definitely don't. I mean, I think I can hold my own in a fight. And I hope I can hold my own in a fight. I haven't really done any of the real fights. It's just been all the sparring stuff.
Just remember when fighting that your opponent is never truly defeated, and you'll never let your guard down.
I mean, Poffins is around. I'm never letting my guard down.
I heard that.
I said it loud enough so you could.
Hey, at least that means the ringing in his head went away.
I liked it better when he wasn't talking. Can I hit the other side of his head?
No.
No, because unfortunately I paid him for that hit.
Oh, is that all it takes?
It was worth it.
Oh,
The
yeah.
prince immediately puts 10 gold in front of Pop and just smacks him on the other side of the head.
Well,
Hold on. Let me actually roll his Santetsuken. Does that hit you?
No.
So he misses and just takes the 10 gold back.
No. Poffins grabs the 10 gold, and that's why he misses. Poffins grabs the gold and shoves it into his pocket.
Yeah, unfortunately, I have to have this use a quarterstaff because they don't have any Santetsukens in the app. So
How strange. I think they would.
I mean, it's the same exact thing as a quarterstaff. It's just a different variation.
Yeah.
Just
It's
rename
$10
it.
I've ever made.
Yep. So you guys finished doing that, and you did get instructions from the king as to where to go. It's actually, strangely enough, there is an entrance to the sewers that would connect to everything just on the outskirts of the Colosseum, but not going in, but like on the outside, like basically. Again, since we've been referencing Final Fantasy 9 a lot, you know the little hole they pop up in when they're in the village of Dolly.
Mhm.
It's like out in the field. Yeah, one of those things.
Wow.
So you guys make your way there. And I've already got this prepared.
Ooh.
Welcome
Is this where
to...
we start playing the Mario Brothers music?
Also, welcome to Dynamic Lighting, everybody.
Ooh, I'm excited to see how this works out.
So, real quick, I am going to give you all access to the token that is Prince Alwyn. There is something on the character sheet. I have that somewhere else. But this way you guys all can just move the token, so I don't have to worry about it.
How dark is it down here?
You guys can, the 30-foot radius of it you have there is the assumption I'm making for somebody having access to light. And if it's none of you, the prince can do it. But that's your radius. Each of the tokens here is emanating 30-foot radius of bright light, which is what you have.
Gotcha. So Chloe can cast light like as easy as breathing.
Yeah. And I mean, technically, I can give you this, which is also something you have, which is the 10 feet of low light.
I also have dark vision, so.
Right, but dark vision's only 30 feet, so.
My dark vision is 60 feet.
Or 60 feet. So.
You have dark vision? Jeez, I'm just a noob. Okay.
I'm
a
half elf. Of course I have dark vision.
I'm a gnome.
You do live beneath the ground, so I guess it makes sense.
So yeah, the light blue stuff that you guys see is your dark vision.
Interesting. I don't get to see that because I'm not them. That's
right.
Cool.
Exactly. So yeah, the dark blue stuff is your dark vision. Yeah, you and the prince don't see that. So hold on, I need to switch to another piton here. As you climb down the ladder into the sewers, the sun from behind you disappears and darkness ascends to overtake your senses. The sewers smell of must and unuse, but are surprisingly clean for being underneath such a large city. There is water up to your ankles, but so far nothing seems to be nipping at them. As you peer down the long sewer tunnel, you can see the shadow of a splitting path.
Is the water still water or is it flowing?
It's got that sort of like sewer stagnant but little flow to it.
Okay, so it doesn't hinder our movement.
No, it does not hinder your movement at all. Since we're ripping Final Fantasy games, minus apps, this is the sewers underneath Midgar.
Does that mean the steel materia is down here for poffins?
Maybe. Depends.
I'm not a thief.
Which is why you would need the materia.
I don't steal.
He has a point.
Do we know where we're going down here?
No, Dad just said it led somewhere. We kind of have to find it, I guess.
Well, let's start wondering.
Please go ahead. Assume the formation. This is a two-person wide sewer, as you can clearly see.
Hey. Okay.
Yes.
You have dark vision too, right?
I can see in the dark if that's what you mean.
Yeah, you can see. Why don't you take the lead, because you got the bigger sword, and I'm trying to get hit in the back of the head.
I don't have a sword.
Your glaive, sir. My bad.
Kite takes a few steps forward, and for the first time, Poffins is going to see that even in the very dim light, that the gem in the glaive is glowing, but it is not like emitting a shine on anything. So the gem is glowing, but it's not lighting anything.
Ponzi's eyes get just huge.
I'm just picturing the white materia under the water in Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah, similar to that. Yeah.
Oh, nuts. Chloe's,
Ponzi's eyes are just absolutely huge at this.
while Chloe's down here, she's actually going to cast Mage Armor on herself. Just because, a little concerned. It lasts 8 hours, so hey, we should be okay. Yeah.
There's the
So
fork. There's a fork
there are-
coming up. Which way?
There
Which way
are
do
a
we
couple
go?
of forks here. You can see this fork, you can see this fork, and you can see it continues down this direction. So you have 3 options.
Prince.
You're asking me which way to go?
Yes.
Let me have him make a survival check. He's a little panicked, not knowing exactly where to go right now.
Well, I'll tell you what. I'll eliminate one of the choices. We don't go back.
Yeah, Ponzi's back there. I don't want to go back there. So to do this the fair way for you guys, as the GM, I know where everything is in here.
Right, and it wouldn't be right for him to find our way.
Correct. So I'm going to roll a die. I'm going to roll a d6 here in roll 20. 1 and 2 is down. 3 and 4 is the first fork. 5 and 6 is the second fork. 2. I guess we go straight down then.
Okay. Straight down it is.
All right, Kite, do me a favor here.
As we
And,
walk by, Kite does look down just to see if he sees anything down that way. So
give me a perception check.
nope, still rolling like crap.
Nope, you see nothing down there.
It was just a quick glance.
Mm-hmm. As you guys are also making your way down towards this way, I need Kite and Poffins to make perception checks at disadvantage, please, because of the nature of what's happening. Dark vision.
Interesting. Oh, it hurts more when you see the number that you lost.
Mm-hmm.
Well, mine didn't. It was 3 and a 6. So
Yeah. So all right. I'll use my favorite GM line. Looks clear.
Meanwhile, Chloe's staying mostly close to the party here.
You guys continue your way down.
Yep. Do I see the dead end, at least at the end of that?
Yeah, you see that down easy peasy. You also see this 4-way split.
Do we hear anything while we're down here? Like any sort of living creatures or anything?
All right, now you don't.
Okay, well, it's not down.
Now that you're closer, we're going to go ahead and make another perception check, this time normally. Just the 2 dark visions.
I love this app.
So I have a 19.
There we go.
Oh! You notice something down there. It's actually a very familiar looking-ish sight to you. It looks like the wall is jiggling.
Um,
Put it out, Poffins.
it's jiggling.
What is?
Did you throw some of your jello out?
No. I may have poured some down the drain earlier.
Came back to get us. Ponzi, speak clearly. What do you see?
As you see it jiggling, you also see something shiny gleams from the jiggling.
There's a cube of jiggly down there, and it's got something in it.
Can you identify it?
It's a gelatinous cube.
Has Ponzi ever encountered one?
He's heard stories of them.
I'll give you the stories.
And if he says that, yeah.
Make a history check.
Oh, I have 7 on this. This is fine. Rolls a 4.
So
11.
As far as you know, this is the jello that the queen threw out the ship, mixing with the innate magic from the area. This is your alcohol trying to attack you. As far as you know.
Yeah, like I said, I put some down the sewers earlier. It's my jello shots are here.
So would
I
Chloe,
wonder what flavor it is.
would she picked up anything from his description at all? Enough to investigate it, or
You can make a history check.
shall do? Because good old magical studies involve magical creatures, and I get an 11 too.
Yeah, that tracks of his jello mixing with some magic and becoming, movable. That tracks.
Like it's sentient jello.
Great, so we have a rummy mummy here.
Well,
Yep.
we don't need to go that direction, right? So at least we're fine.
We don't know. We don't need to go that direction.
Which direction was it?
Down. So basically, for all we know, the jello or the gelatinous cube is just blocking an additional.
Yeah, a ladder or a path. You don't know.
But it has something shiny in it. I know that.
And that's a
so
reason
it
for
is.
you to fight one?
I didn't say I wanted to fight it. It's coming at us, isn't it?
It doesn't look like it's moved.
Well, maybe we can just leave it alone.
I don't hate that idea. But it has something shiny.
I'm all for leaving it alone. We didn't come down here to pick fights.
Ponzi,
Mm-hmm.
give me a wisdom saving throw, please.
Why don't you think I'm going to do a will defense?
That is a will saving throw. It's a wisdom.
Oh, okay, yeah.
What? So I just add 4 to my dice.
Is that what your wisdom saving throw is?
What is my wisdom saving throw?
It's your modifier, and I'm not sure, and I don't think you have proficiency in that one, so it's probably just +4.
Yeah, it's just +4, so 15.
It's actually not bad.
It is shiny, but Kite makes a very good point. But it is shiny.
It's very shiny. I'm gonna live and let live today. I think it's shiny, but I like living. It's been a rough day. Ponzi grabs the back of his head.
So we're in
so
agreement then.
You all quickly, which direction are you going? This here, up here.
Ponzi
Well,
just
I
runs.
would see the path back up top, so I would know at least we could go down that way and go up top. So I would just head down.
Lead the way. Yes, it's a maze, y'all.
We
I
got a
don't
lot
being
of
in the
options
rear
here.
with that thing behind us, but it's okay.
I'm here with you. They're not really in the rear. You can go stand next to your prince.
No, I think I'll be fine.
Go ahead and make me a perception check, Kite. Since you're in the lead.
Oh, please don't be multiple gelatinous cubes.
Looks clear.
We're screwed.
If we're
Jamie, would I give you more than one demon jiggly jelly because I love that name, Dark Shadows? I'm stealing it.
Yes, you would.
are they like the ghosts in the Pac-Man maze, and we're just like running around them?
Pretty much.
Hey, to be fair, I did hint to you that a gelatinous cube was down here. I did say it was surprisingly clean for the sewers.
Oh, that is the telltale thing.
I did hint that.
That's the way
Yeah.
you describe them. Oh no, how bad TM.
So I guess we just walked away from Clyde.
Yep. Now you just go Inky, Blinky, and Sue.
So it looks clear. Okay. What do we do? Which way do we all go?
I'm terrified.
Should be.
He's just GMing and has already attempted to kill us once.
He didn't attempt it. That was me attempting to kill us. We're following your lead, though, Kite.
Hey Ponzi,
Yeah.
who's hurt worse, mine or the chef's?
The chef didn't hit me, so yours.
Oh, that's right, he didn't. Okay, we're going right.
Lead the way. Make me more perception checks. Okay. You can clearly see this is a dead end. Nothing looks suspicious on it. This is a dead end. Nothing looks suspicious on it. Even down here, this is a dead end. Nothing looks suspicious on it. Although you can see what appears to be some oozing something down here that seems to be seeping through from the other side.
Kite just sort of mutters to himself, yeah, Ponzi's done with jealous shots after this.
No more jello shots. Ever!
Shots.
No more chill. Does Ponzi, you say it loud enough for Ponzi to hear it?
Kite just walks down.
That's a lot of. It smells alcoholic.
Yep, I'll give you this too. Again, dead end. Does not look like there's anything down there of consequence.
Kite walks down that way.
Mhm.
Is that as well down there?
That is a dead end, yes.
Doesn't look like we have anything down this way.
Help. Know what that means?
We have to go back.
As long as you don't have to go back to that thing.
Looks like Jello's on the menu.
No, there's still another path.
Right, go ahead and make me another perception check. Poffins, you too. All right.
Yeah, I don't know. It's gonna be a 19.
Okay. Well, then you will both see this. As you look down, well, you'll more hear it than see it. You hear this noise.
I'm glad you're on push to talk, so you couldn't actually make that noise.
I'm glad.
I'm not on push to talk.
No,
Oh,
we didn't hear the noise.
Oh, it doesn't want to work. It does not want to work. You hear chittering.
oh, delightful.
You
Okay,
hear
that's
some
better
chittering.
because I didn't have your video up in front of me. I thought you were trying to make a slurping noise, and I'm
Me
like,
too.
thank goodness
I was
I am
making a
not hearing
chittering
that.
noise.
Wait, do I hear the chittering as well?
If it's pointed out, you'll all hear the chittering because it's not hard to miss.
They have rats in the sewer.
Sewers naturally would have rats. That makes sense.
Oh, they're not rats.
They
As what's up?
He says to Poffez, they also have giant jello molds down here.
Well, they're not giant jello molds, but as you look down, you do see two what appear to be blue and white arachnids of some sort.
I don't like this.
And well, let me just show you what they look like. Anyone who has a fear of spiders, I'm warning you now. Spider picture incoming. And you look down the hallway at these two blue and white arachnids, and you hear the chittering noises that they're trying to make that apparently my microphone does not want to pick up on. And I need two things to happen. One, we're going to roll for initiative.
Mm-hmm.
That's the first thing.
If you put a picture up, a picture did not come up.
Did I not hit show to everybody? Okay.
Got a 19 because Chloe's ready to get out of there.
They're wooter spooters.
They are, in fact, Wooter Spooters.
You're lucky.
Right.
A 9 for me, please.
What is your initiative bonus?
I rolled a 5, so it's 5 plus 4. So 9, please.
This thing also has a +4, so tie goes to you.
Oh, okay, that's fine. Having flashbacks to the first ever D&D session we ran, if you're watching this, go look it up. It should be on YouTube. And
Teach.
it did not go well for me last time.
Yo,
Can you color them?
can I color code them? Yes, I can.
Just because it makes it easier for us.
Yep.
Sure.
Give me a second.
They have different initiatives. That's neat.
There are two of them, so red and green spooters. You guys can see those dots, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
So as you turn and see these two Wooter Spooters, you hear the chittering and the hissing and the spider noises. Ominous spider noises happen. You've rolled for initiative, your weapons are drawn, you're ready to go. And that's where we're going to end the session.
Makes sense.
You knew it was coming.
So thank you all very much for watching. A quick programming note. We are going to be off this upcoming Sunday due to the Memorial Day holiday. A bunch of us have things going on. So we will not be doing any Legaria that weekend, but look for some more Legaria coming the first Sunday in June. We'll be back with some Wooter Spooters. So until then, on behalf of Chameleon Ice Crimson Avix and Norestra, I am TGE reminding everybody to, of course, as always, keep hailing.